Today, guys, we have got a very special guest all the way from the Gabbici showroom at the end of the road, Mr. Simon "The Suit" Parr.
Thanks for having me on, mate.
How are you, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm really good. Yeah, it's an absolute honour to be here. So, yeah, I hope I don't let you down.
You ain't going to let us down, are you?
Yeah, it was a long walk and it's really hot.
It is hot out there, don't it?
Yeah.
And you was wearing a jacket earlier.
I was. I had to take it off. It was a Madras. I thought I'd wear the Madras jacket, but it's too hot.
How was the selling season?
Really good. So, as you say, at the end of Leather Lane, I was in a showroom there. It used to be the Ben Sherman showroom back in the day.
What is it, Fordham College?
Yeah, so it's the Fordham College University, and we're allowed to rent rooms there. So we basically rent a room for a short period of time, and then all the buyers come into.
It's a cool plot as well, isn't it?
Oh, really good. They've got a roof garden. You've been in the roof garden?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh, no. Well, if you play cards right, I'll take you up there.
Got to get up in the roof garden.
Oh, yeah. They've got the roof garden. They've got like a breakout space downstairs.
You know where you drop down that hill?
Yep.
Is that... I don't know if it's that hill or it's the hill next one along where it's got the... Is it the Ruby? It's got that really cool hotel where it's got wicked and a cocktail bar.
There's a nice little pub next door.
Yes.
Which used to be the Ben Sherman pub. They all used to go in there.
Oh, right, okay.
And then right next door is a really nice hotel, yeah. I haven't been in there yet.
So tell us a little bit about how you started in the business.
Well, basically, my dad had... obviously, I'm in the menswear trade. My dad had a menswear shop for 50 years in Ely near Cambridge.
Ely?
Ely, yeah.
Oh, I know where
Not
it is.
Ealing, Ely.
Yeah, what isn't it near Hoddesdon?
No, it's near...
I got confused then.
Yeah, it's Cambridge, near Cambridge,
right,
Ely,
okay.
Wisbeach, that way.
Right.
So my dad had the shop for 50-odd years, and I thought to myself, I don't want to get into retail.
Did you used to work in it on night weekends?
Yeah. My job was to polish the floor. They had a parquet floor, so I polished the floor. And then dust the hangers, because the trousers used to be on there so long that you dust the hangers.
Yeah.
And I thought, no, standing in a shop 9 to 5, that's not for me. But anyway, in the old days, when you left school 16, you had to get a job. So I got a job as a window dresser, believe it or not, at John Lewis. So it was called Robert Sale at the time.
I'd done that for, I'd done window dressing as my, at the end of you go and work experience.
Yes.
I'd done that at Debenhams.
Oh, really?
And I quite enjoyed it. I don't know why, but I really quite enjoyed it. I thought that wouldn't be a bad thing, to move into.
I loved it. All my mates were like plumbers and bricklayers.
Yeah,
and
you were dressing windows.
But
kind of the same thing, really.
Yeah, sort of. And then I did a day release course at Wisbeach College doing retail display and design.
Right.
So that's what I started doing. And then one day my mum was sitting at the dinner table reading the Daily Mail, and she said, this would be a good job for you. And I was like, what's that? Window dressers on cruise liners, QE2 Canberra Sea Princess. Okay. And I was like, what? And she said,
you went straight from your John Lewis job as a window dresser to dressing cruise liners?
Yeah.
Right,
I know.
okay.
I'd been there 5 years. Basically, all I did was cover boards, paint, make props, really. The girls used to do all these lovely displays. And I'd just be painting stuff and mucking about,
Right.
And anyway, I went for the interview down in Southampton, and I took all their pictures of what they'd done and blagged it and said that, I did all that,
nice.
Which of course I didn't. Anyway, I got the job, moved down to Southampton, and we went to America, Italy, Germany, working on the cruise liners. So do you remember the Canberra? That was So it was an ocean liner that they used as a troop ship in the Falkland War.
Oh, right, yeah.
So they then turned it back into a cruise liner, and we went to Bremerhaven in Germany.
Right.
We sorted it all out and made it, back to a cruise liner. I went on the QE2 when it was in Southampton docks.
Right.
So what we would do when it docked, we'd go in and tidy everything up. I have got a story, but I don't know if you might have to cut this out. Anyway, I'm doing this display. All the lights were off. It was quite dark in there. All the passengers had gone.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this display, and all of a sudden I had this, what are you doing there? Right. And I turned around, Jimmy Savile. Right. Yeah, I know. So he had like his medallion on that he just won because he went on some run, a vest, some really short shorts. And he was like sat in the back in the dark. I didn't even know he was there. Really scary, yeah.
And what did he do?
And I had a quick chat with him, and then I thought I need to get out of here.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to.
But like I say, you might have to cut that bit out. But yeah,
so you wouldn't want it. So that was that the height of?
No, that wasn't. No. So we went all over the place. Went all over the world on the cruise liners, but it was crazy. It was a bit too much for me. So I came back.
Was it quite a fast life then? When you were doing? Did they want you to change props here, there, and everywhere?
It was
all the time.
Not so much during the day. It was in the evening, because you imagine when you finish work at 5 o'clock, you go home.
Yeah.
Well, there you can't. You
No.
know, you can't go. You're in the crew bar till
Yeah.
God knows what time in the morning. It was mental. We did a party. They said we're doing a fancy dress party, toga party. I went, all right, okay. And I just got a sheet from the bed, wrapped it around me. One of the guys turned up. He wasn't a mummy, he was a daddy. So he'd completely covered himself in toilet roll.
Right.
And he'd, you can imagine.
Yeah.
And by the end of the night, he was just naked, because all the toilet roll had fallen off. It was mental. So I thought, this is a bit too crazy for me.
Was cruising then as popular as it is now?
Yeah, even more so, I think. I mean, we used to do the Miami to the Bahamas.
Oh, mate.
And that was the
mental,
American. It was almost like the 18 to 30 version for the Americans.
They do that for spring break as well.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Oh, God.
Is it mad?
It was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
So getting off the cruise ships was probably a massive lifestyle change.
Yeah.
How old were you when you were doing that?
I was only 21.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I know.
How long was you doing it for?
I did it for about just over a year.
Right.
It was just a bit too much, because you never knew. You'd go away and you never knew when you were coming back.
Yeah.
And you'd get back and you think, all right, you're off to Italy now, or you're off to America. It sounds very glamorous.
But you weren't at home much then?
No, not at all.
You were
Not at
literally
all.
stuck on a cruise ship. So your mum and dad didn't see you for a year?
No, well, I moved down to Southampton.
Okay.
So I was on my own in Southampton and then on the cruise liners.
So getting off the cruise liners and going back to normality,
Yeah.
What did you do then?
So I obviously window dressing, then I got into retail. So I went to Next. So that's when Next was really good.
What, doing the same thing, like window
No,
dressing?
I was, again, another one I blagged. They used to have Next to Nothing, which was the sale shop. Do you
Right.
remember the sale shops?
Yeah.
And yeah, they had the Next, and then they had a little shop that it was like off price.
I kind of, no, if I'm honest
Yeah,
with you, I don't
this would have
remember
been like 88, 89.
Next to
and
nothing. Were
next to nothing.
Were they sign written the same way, or
No, not at all.
So you wouldn't even know that they were
Next
next.
to Nothing. Yeah.
Do they not supply like is it choice?
Yeah, that's turned into choice.
That's
yes.
what it's turned into.
Yeah.
Right, got
Yeah.
you. Okay.
So I went for a job there. I thought, I like Next. I like their clothes.
Yeah.
I'll go for a job at the little shop in Cambridge.
Well, at one point in the 80s, like Next were like the height of fashion as well,
honestly.
weren't they?
They were doing, I mean, I've got my Sebagos on now, but they were doing loafers. They were doing Oxford shirts, knitted ties.
Do you remember that? It was a Next jumper. It was called the Safari jumper. And it was like, it was in the casual scene, it was
Yeah.
like loads of
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
I was too young for it, but I do remember this thing everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I'm talking about? It's got
I
like,
think so.
it's like a stripy, I don't know, wild looking safari jumper.
I mean, the quality and everything about Next, it was amazing. So I went for the job in the main shop, the big one in Cambridge. And as I was in the interview, I suddenly realised they weren't interviewing me for the little shop. They were interviewing me for the big shop.
Right.
And they said, oh, have you worked in retail before? And I was like, oh, yeah. Have you used a till before? And I thought, oh, yeah. And I thought, never have. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, finally got the job, interiors manager.
Right.
So, because I'd done window dressing,
Yeah.
they thought interiors. So,
Yeah.
And then first day, I'd never used a till. So I said to the girl, just teach me how to use the till. But it was brilliant. It's where I met my wife, Jo.
Oh, really?
So in 1990, she joined. And yeah, we're still together now. So
It's blinding, isn't it?
yeah, and so it was great, good time. So yeah, I did. So I've done the retail side of it, and then I got into the wholesale side of it.
How long was you at Next for?
I was there probably until 92, 93.
About another 3 or 4 years?
Yeah,
like that?
3 or 4 years.
Right.
And then I thought to myself, I want to get into the wholesale side. And my dad knew the rep for Van Heusen. Do you know Van Heusen?
Yeah.
Two-tool, quite traditional.
Yeah, where are they? Are they from Germany?
No. They were based in Derby.
Okay.
Yeah, so but they
You see a lot of that in TK Maxx, don't you?
You do, yeah,
Right.
you do. But
Is that all them? Is it?
it's the silk scarves. Yeah,
Did that? Is it? Okay, right.
You know,
I'm
like
thinking, yeah, I know what you're
Oasis
talking
would
about.
wear-
Yeah, that a cravat
and-
type.
yeah,
or whatever
Paul
it's
Weller
called.
would wear it,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So yeah, eventually got a job there, doing wholesale. But I was going around all the traditional old menswear shops.
Yeah.
And when I joined, I was doing East Anglia, Essex, North London, Lincolnshire. I had 250 menswear accounts.
Fucking hell.
200, and that was Cromer, Sheringham,
That's mad, isn't it?
Stanton, all these little towns.
Yeah, they all had a menswear
All
shop.
had it.
Well,
And
every town you ever went to had 2 or 3 independent
Oh
stores,
yeah,
didn't they?
Wisbeach, all of these Spalding.
Mad.
And my job was to travel around selling formal shirts. And of course,
Yeah.
in those days, formal shirts, ties, suits were selling really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I basically did my training there. and then left there, went to Martinique. Do you remember Martinique?
Yes, that was another hot brand.
Yeah,
as well,
yeah, yeah.
So when was this? This was mid-90s.
So that would have been mid-90s as well.
Had Martinique seen its? Because I remember it being an 80s brand, wasn't it?
I think
it had seen its peak at that point.
Definitely, it was still good, but it definitely seen its peak.
They've come back, haven't they, Martinique?
Yeah.
Are they doing
definitely.
good?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I don't see it as much as you used to.
It's quite low key, isn't it?
Yeah.
No real big Martinique logos or anything on it. So
I mean,
you wouldn't
when
even know what you were wearing.
We used to go to Copenhagen to the conference, and you'd land at the airport. There'd be a massive Martinique shop, and Cottonfield. It was Cottonfield as well. And then you'd go into Copenhagen, and there'd be 3 stores and a department store. It was everywhere.
So you went to Martinique mid-90s.
Yep. And then I got a job. I left there. My mate was working for Gibson London, which was the suits and the jackets.
Right.
So I then jumped ship. Went.
Where were they based?
They were based in Gaul. Do you know where Gaul is? Up near Hull and Leeds.
Fuck that.
I know.
Did you have to travel from Cambridge up there?
Yeah. I know, it was great. Leeds is a good night out.
Leeds is a good town.
Leeds is a really good night.
Harrogate's a good town.
Yeah, really. They used to have trade shows there.
Yeah, do you remember they used to have a big, massive trade show there?
Massive menswear trade show.
They used to have, in that sort of conference centre, they used to have a homeware show as well.
Yeah.
They'd go straight from the menswear or whatever I don't know if it was just a trade show, straight in within 2 weeks into the homeware show.
Yeah.
We used to stay up there and go and card them all up for all their surplus gear. We bought a lot of stock from them trade shows.
Yeah. No, they're brilliant. My mum and dad used to go, we're off to Harrogate and they'd be like a week. Where now we do a trade show 2 days.
Yeah.
They'd be up there for a week doing their buying.
But they were the good old days.
They are the good old days. No, it's still good, mate. It's still
It's changed though, isn't it?
Yeah, it has changed. And then Gibson, then I did Barracuda. Now we're talking.
Now we are talking.
Sudden,
I think one of the coolest brands that are out there.
Totally. So
love it.
The company that I worked for owned the brand. And they said, do you want to come and join Barracuda? You can still do Gibson.
Did you know about Barracuda at that point?
I did. Sort of. I mean, everyone says they knew about Barracuda. When I was a lad and when I was a mod, I had a Harrington, but I got it off the market. And I think it was called Lord Anthony. It wasn't even Lord John. Yeah. It was just one of these Harringtons. Yeah. And I said, I used to wear a Harrington. They said, no, you didn't. Not a Barracuda. Right. This is the one that Steve McQueen wore, Elvis Presley. And when I got into the history of it, I thought, this is the one. Believe it or not, back in those days, they only had like golf accounts. They had an Italian account, a Japanese account, and John Simon in Chiltern Street. Well, he was in Covent Garden at the time.
That's the only accounts they had? And
they really wanted to relaunch it. And the guy called Kevin Stone, he was tasked to relaunch the brand.
Did he own the brand?
No, he worked for the company and he was a consultant. So he took it to trade shows in Italy, in Paris, and he sat on his little stand with his Steve McQueen book. Yeah. In those days, you weren't allowed to use the image, so we had the book with it on the front cover, but you couldn't use it in any advertising or anything like that.
So how did you get around it then?
Well,
just having the book.
Just having the book.
Just to show
you're on a trade show and you're telling the story. Elvis wore it, Steve wore it, and gradually Oi Polloi come on the stand and go, okay, we'll have a bit of this. Right. And then all these cool accounts.
Were they the guys who kind of relaunched it then?
Yeah, I would say they got into it. Everyone else used to watch what they were doing. Yeah. And then one by one, you'd see it in all the cool accounts.
It is such a cool account. It's just so expensive. But that's kind of also what...
Well, when we did it, it was $125 for non-made in England and $160 for made in England. Now, when the Italians bought it, which was 2012, I think it was, all of a sudden it was 300 quid. Yeah. But it was all made in England. The fabric was different. The lining was different. So it was...
But when you buy that, you're buying what you're buying.
I mean, the quality, it's like a Rolls Royce,
Yeah, really. There's plenty of pretenders
and to
there,
be fair, they've kept it. So if you want to buy a Barracuda, that's what you have to pay at the end of the day, know. It's the cream of the Harringtons.
It's not just the Barracuda, though, is it? It's not just the Harrington, because they used to have in the 80s a really good collection of everything up polo shirts. Yep. And their knitwear was cool. Yeah.
Well, my dad, believe it or not, he used to sell the raincoats.
Okay.
Barracuda raincoats, and he had a foot mat at the front of the shop where you do your feet, and someone nicked it. I mean, I'd love to have that, a Barracuda, doormat. So he had all the old signs, Airtex, all these old signs over the years.
Did you keep? So you was at Barracuda for a while then?
I was Barracuda
Was you
for
doing
quite a while.
Was you sat doing sales?
Sales, yeah.
Okay.
So we went to trade shows in Paris, in Berlin. Do you remember the old trade shows?
No.
Yeah.
I'd never been to that.
They were crazy shows.
Were they?
Oh yeah.
Do you know? So, but did you bring? Was you able to bring a lot of your accounts that you'd already been going on to Barracuda? Because that's definitely half the sale, isn't it?
I was always into the mod scene. So
was you into the mod scene since you was a kid?
Yeah. So 16 years old, you're allowed to get a 50cc moped.
Right.
And my mates were getting these Fizzies and these, Suzukis, but I wanted a Vespa.
Yes.
My dad's like, you don't want a Vespa, you want a motorbike like your mates. I'm like, no, I want a Vespa. So got into the mod scene through that.
Right.
So I knew the mod scene and I knew the mod accounts.
Okay.
So I was sort of in the scene. And so
that was perfect.
Then.
That
perfect.
Was that was a landing of two things together that perfect for you.
Yeah, no, totally. So
how long were you at Barracuda for?
Well, I finished in 2012 so I thought, right, okay, I'm out of a job here because, obviously they'd sold it to the Italians.
Yeah.
It's clear that I wasn't going with the Italians. So I thought, I went to this recruitment office and I had a job for Lacoste, Dr. Martens, Barber, and someone else, can't remember. But yeah, I got the Barber job.
Right.
So all of a sudden I'm in South Shields at the global launch working for Barber. And that was amazing.
Was that a different animal to Barracuda?
Oh, totally.
The size of the business?
It was massive. I mean, when we went to the conference, you had people from America, Australia, Italy, France. It was huge. You had men's, ladies, kids. It was massive.
So when you're going to do that and the jump up from
well, I knew the accounts anyway.
They're very similar accounts, aren't they?
Yeah, I roughly knew the accounts.
Right.
But instead of you phoning up people trying to sell stuff, they were phoning
They're ringing you up,
and we were like, "Nah, you're right."
So you're not opening accounts willy nilly then. You're actually really hand picking the accounts that you want to work with.
Because at the time, everybody wanted it.
Well, they're also another one of them brands that stood the test of time, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've been around forever.
Yeah.
And you can't open a Barber account for love nor money, can you?
No.
It's very difficult.
Well, what happened with that was they were in the hunting, shooting, fishing shops.
Yeah.
Like these really old fashioned, that kind of, like the royal family would be wearing Barber. And then they took a few pieces like the International Motorcycle jacket and the quilted jacket. They took it to
the Steve McQueen jacket.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So they took those to a really cool trade show.
Right.
Do you remember? It was to be confirmed, I think. It then turned into Welcome Edition.
Yes.
Yeah,
I do, yeah.
And Jacket Required. Yeah.
So they're all wrapped into one then?
Yeah.
They all amalgamate into Jacket Required?
Yeah. Well, it was Mark Batista. He started To Be Confirmed.
Right.
Then he did Jacket Required and he's now got Welcome Edition.
Wasn't there three... Well, they were all three separate trade shows, weren't they?
Yeah,
right, got you.
Totally. But Barber took a little stand, just took some really cool pieces.
Yeah.
And again, opened up with the likes of Oi Polloi and, where they would never normally, look at it. But that had so much history, and iconic pieces.
Do you remember they like Oi Polloi, because they're a menswear shop, but they weren't just catering to one particular style, one particular person, were they?
No.
So they weren't just catering to football casuals.
No.
They weren't just catering to, traditional menswear.
Yeah.
They was mixing and matching and making it cool.
Yeah.
That's why I think maybe if you just go down the route of just being a casual store, you're in trouble, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because fashions change very quickly, don't they?
Oh, yeah, totally. And I think what they did, they cherry-picked loads and loads of different looks.
Yeah.
And put it all together in one shop.
Putting it together.
Yeah. So they were sort
made
of
it great.
mod, casual, hipster, all sorts.
All mixed together and putting the outfits together is what made it really great.
And probably brands that you probably wouldn't have seen, like Paraboot, things like that, Baswegians.
Yeah.
All of a sudden these brands that they were in the shop and now all of a sudden everyone knows about it, don't they?
Yeah, but what do you think that they were kind of the innovators?
Yeah, I think so. I think there were a few little accounts like American Classics, John Simon, Oi Polloi, all these little tiny accounts, and then
They've just come back, haven't they, Oi Polloi?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got a market stall at the moment in Manchester.
Have they not taken the actual shop back?
Well, there's rumour. I keep seeing things on Instagram. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but hopefully,
it'd be good if they come back. Wouldn't it?
No, definitely.
You want to see more indies, don't you? Because
yes, I do, because I'm an agent.
Well, I mean, it doesn't the high street for a good 10 years just look bare?
Yeah.
It looks uninviting.
Yeah.
It looks like, you know, every high street's almost a carbon copy of the other.
Yeah.
And then you had all these big conglomerates owning the high street.
Yeah.
And that meant that the landlords, for them, it's a safe bet to give them these really long leases.
Yeah.
But when one of them goes, like a Top Shop, it takes down Top Man, takes down Burton, takes down all of it all at once, and then you've got an empty town.
Yeah, well, I think what happened in lockdown, I mean, that really changed the face of retail. Like you say, all these big boys went bust. And people started to discover little independence, you know.
Well, a lot of the independents before lockdown, a lot of them had given up.
Yeah.
And then lockdown was the final nail in the coffin. They're like, fuck this, it's not worth it.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden people are coming in and going, oh, right, yeah, I knew you were here, but I never really came in here. And the service was good, and the product was good, and it was different. It was different to the high street.
Yeah.
So now the independents, because when lockdown, I became an agent, funnily enough, 2019.
Okay.
And then 2020, we had lockdown. All the shops were shut. I thought, oh my God, this is going to be killer. But the internet went crazy for some reason. And then
everyone was sitting at home, weren't they? And they had disposable income.
Oh yeah, and they bought all these clothes. They couldn't go out, so I presume they just sat there watching telly.
We had during COVID, we had obviously Artifacts was the full price site. We also had the clearance website as well.
Yeah,
and we weren't selling as much full price, obviously, but we were selling shitload of clearance.
Yeah.
So we didn't have any time during lockdown to do anything else but pack stuff and send it out.
Yeah.
But I always thought that, you know, it's going to go, the high street's going to, like, certain shops are going to go, they're just going to have chucked it in. People have been in it for 30 years. They're going to say, do you know what? I've thrown a towel in here.
Yeah.
Because they had an opportunity to throw the towel in. Maybe they wanted to throw the towel in 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Now this is the time where it's going to, right, I'm going to go. But what that does, it makes it room on the high street for someone else to come in and fill that void.
Yeah.
And there's loads and loads of
and it
indies popping up now.
You become creative. I think when you're told, well, you can't do that and you can't do that, you think, well, what can I do? You know, and social media, you can do social media, you can do this, you can do that, and you can go online. So a lot of my independents who didn't have an online presence,
they were forced into it,
who didn't have a Facebook page, who didn't have an Instagram page, all of a sudden they're forced into that.
So that in effect is why it's so hard online now.
Yeah.
Because there's now so much competition now.
Yes.
So, you know, how do you see that? Because I'm looking at it and I can see it being a race to the bottom.
Yeah.
And I've got to be like, right, I can't get into that race.
Yeah.
Because if you're winning that race, you're in big trouble.
Well, that's down to the brands. So if a brand sees websites discounting all the time, it's up to the brand to turn around and say, look, you can't do that. You know, you've all got to, I mean, I work for Gabbici now, and they're really good. And generally, people don't go on sale, you know, that early. It's generally full price, and then they will have a sale when they're supposed to have it. But yeah, you're right. There's so many brands that have got their own online, plus their own stores, plus wholesale business. And then you go and look at it, and it's like 80% off or 25% off. And
because if you say you sell something to me,
and
we work on a 2.5 markup, and then all of a sudden, within 3 weeks of us receiving the stock, lines are on a 40% off sale. You're like, how has that even worked? And now I'm not saying Gabbici, because Gabbici is like one of the brands that you can actually make money on.
Yeah,
because well, it is because it's, at the moment it's really hot.
Yep.
It's a really good. Everyone where we are anyway. Everyone's coming in for it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, you go online and it's not, oh, someone else has got it for this.
So
money.
that gives you longevity. So that's what you need, and Gabbici are very good at that.
They are very good at it. Yeah.
I think you've got to keep to that, because if not, like you say, it is a race to the bottom, and it's about quality. You know, you've got to be doing good product. We're doing the archive range, which is
brilliant.
Original pieces that we've recreated. Really good quality, good price point. And each season you've got to keep moving on.
So that archive range, when you were telling me about it, because I see a lot of Gabbici and I think, okay, right, that's quite a nice top and whatever. And then you think, yeah, but will the archive range sell? Because it's complete. The Gabbici polo you're wearing now, so the archive range, is chalk and cheese, isn't it?
Oh, totally.
Because they're not even similar to each other.
No.
The archive range, you look at it, you're like, I actually see that being £100 polo shirt.
Yeah,
It's not,
easily.
but it could be. You know,
it's got the bigger collar. It's made from viscose and nylon, how it was originally.
Yeah.
It's got the original badge, and we've actually. What people tend to do, that they'll take an original piece and then they go, oh, well, we made the collar smaller and we made it out of a different fabric and we did this and we did that. Where Gabbici have said, no, this is the original piece. We're going to do it exactly the same as how it was. And I've seen the originals.
Yeah, no.
And they do look identical,
and,
you know.
And you can't really, there's no one else out there who's doing that style of product.
But it's hard. The company that make it, they had to buy a new machine to make the collar. So
right.
They weren't very happy.
Yeah.
And then the fabric and the weaving, it's been a real headache to get it right.
To get the product at that point. So I always used to look at Gabbici and I was thinking, you've done similar style polos at one point to Penguin and Farah and whatever. And there was, what's the distinction?
Yeah.
But now there's a massive distinction.
Yes,
and then everyone who comes in, they're a little bit older and they're like, wow, I've got to have that. And they don't buy it in one colour, they buy it in 3 colours. And then they come back and say, have you got that in? So you know that the product's good because they're showing it to their friends and their friends are saying, I'll have one of them. Yeah. That's where if only you had all the brands doing that.
Yeah. I mean, we've also got the limited edition range, which we haven't done for a while. And it's the one with the suede. Do you remember the Yardi Cardis? Now we're making it out of Alcantara, which is what the car seats are made out of. Because you can wash it, you don't have to dry clean
like
it.
A chamois leather type thing.
Yeah, it looks like that. So it looks like suede. We're bringing it back for autumn winter 27. We're doing a collab. Can't say anything.
It was a big one though, isn't it?
It's going to be big. So fingers crossed for that one. But yeah, we will be bringing, and that will be like £120. But it will be the real deal, We did a Gregory Isaac one, which was very similar. Yeah. So we're going back to original styles and bringing that back.
So how do you see the market and independence? Do you think, right, we're just same old, we will load them up and hopefully they get through it? Or do you think there's got to be an independent has to now on the high street make it really inviting for people to come in?
I think what I'm finding with my independents who are doing really well, they're catering for them. It's a man of a certain age. Yep. He's still going down the pub, still goes to football, still likes to dress up. He likes the brands that he used to wear, Farah, Fred Perry, Gabbici, all those brands that he was comfortable with, Adidas. He's still going like to Skegness on a weekend or whatever, or a scooter rally, whatever. So he feels comfortable in these shops. And I know we have to cater for the younger people as well, but they are coming through.
But you see that. So say someone wears a Gabbici to football, and the younger lot see that, and then they're like, "Fucking hell, what is that?" Because they haven't seen it before. Yeah. They certainly ain't seen them designs. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Fucking hell, I'll have a Gabbici." I know it because it's not a cheap polo. No. It's not a cheap brand. Yeah. Polos are still reasonable to be affordable to people to buy, and they're like, "Fuck, I'm going to get on that." And then all of a sudden they're on it, and that brings a new audience into it, doesn't it?
Well, we've got Matt from the Molotovs.
Okay,
We've got him into a few tops. So he's only 17,
right?
And he loves it and he looks fantastic. So his profile,
this mod look is pretty hot at the moment. Isn't it?
It is. It always comes round. I mean, obviously it started in the 60s. Then we had the mod revival, 1978, 79. Then we had Britpop around about the 90s.
Mid-90s,
Yeah. Now it's coming back again. So it's still...
Britpop's really hot as well. And
I mean, obviously Oasis last year, that kick-started it all. And I know you've had Eddie from Acid Jazz Records. I mean...
Eddie Pillar, he's been in here,
Yeah, so...
Well, I mean, he's a big Gabbici collector. He's got loads of Gabbici. He wears it all the time. That's his brand, isn't it? He's like, this is the thing.
Yeah, and he's top mod. So... The whole Britpop, acid jazz, that movement, with Oasis and Blur, that was another mod revival, and then we're seeing it again. So I think it's just such a good look that it's timeless, really.
Well, I've in terms of looks, we've had the oversized t-shirts, the oversized trousers, the whatever. I can see it going back smart. I can see smart coming. Yeah. I can see probably in not too distant future. Remember the times when you used to go out and you had to wear a pair of shoes to get into places?
Oh yeah, suits when I was going out in suit, shirt and tie.
What you'll have is you'll have certain places, maybe not nightclubs on every high street doing it, but you'll have certain really cool places where you have to dress a bit smarter to get into, and that will kick off that revival of the smart revival.
And if you look at, I mean, I always think it's influenced by TV, movies, and music.
Yeah.
And if you look at the kind like the Gentlemen, you know, in Mobland, they're starting to dress up.
It's starting to come back already.
Peaky Blinders was another one. I mean, that was massive, tweed suits and flat caps. But people are looking at that and being influenced, and it is definitely getting smarter.
It's when it's being worn normally to work is when people are like, fuck me, that actually you look pretty smart in that. I want to look a little bit like that. So to start off with, people haven't got to wear it all the time, have they? No. They've got to wear it once or twice when they're going out. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it rolls into being that's their look. And it's nice.
It's Saturday night. Let's get dressed up. That's what we always used to do. We work all week, and then Friday, Saturday night.
Going out in going out in a t-shirt and trainers now doesn't feel like you're going out, does it? Because you're wearing a t-shirt and trainers all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And,
it's where I kind of we've just gone to the rave scene in the and just said, we'll stick there for a while.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, there was a period of time where it was loads of different things going on.
Yeah. Well, I think the mod scene, they've always been there, because whenever you go to a mod club, everyone's dressed up.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be Brighton Mod Weekend, everyone would be in a three-button suit.
Right.
Not so much now, but they're still smart. It will still be like a smart polo, chinos, a jacket, a Harrington. Yeah. You know, it's still very, very smart. And shoes. So
is it all, and it's shoes? What about the boots? Does the boots go with it?
Yeah, well, you've got Clark's Desert boots. And they've got monkey boots.
Right.
And then you've got obviously your loafers and your brogues. But I mean, there's the big debate about whether trainers are mod or not.
What, can wallabies be mod?
Yeah, I think they can. Yeah,
they can. Yeah, because that's being teamed up quite a lot. Isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I have this saying that I'm not a mod, but I am mod. So, for example, if me and you were to draw a picture of a mod, you do a Parker and a boating blazer and Levi's Clark's Desert Boots, Ben Sherman, Fred Perry with like Magic Mod's haircut.
Exactly. That would be the
which isn't me, but I would wear like chinos, Harrington, polo shirt. You know, to me, mod is about obsession of clothing, shoes, music, scooters.
So you look at Quadrophenia, the film.
Yeah.
And there was a certain look going for it, but not everyone looked the same.
No, exactly. So
like Sting looked completely different.
Yes. Well, he was the ace face, so he had the money, and he you know.
Okay, right.
So he was the top mod.
Right.
And then you had all the other little Herberts who aspired to that look.
To get to that
level.
But
what you got to remember is in the 60s, no one had any money. Right. You know, and almost coming out of rationing. Rationing was in the 50s.
Yeah.
And my mum was telling me you had one egg a week.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden the 60s
they
came.
Had powdered eggs, didn't they?
Powdered eggs, I know. And you had to do national service. Well, of course, in the 60s you didn't. And then it was the first time we had teenagers. So they had a little bit of money in their pocket. They wanted to buy clothes, get a scooter on HP. They wanted to go out all night, every night. And
is that where the whole mod scene come along in terms of, we know the time, but did it come along because all of a sudden people have got money, a little bit of money in their pocket, which they'd never had before?
Yeah, and they were teenagers. If you look at Absolute Beginners, the book, that was sort of 1958, and it talks about how all of a sudden you've got these young guys with a bit of money going out in Soho, you know, going out all night, and they want to dress different to everybody else. And they had to get stuff made, you know, shirts made, you know, suits made. You couldn't go to a boutique.
So they weren't going down to what's the street?
Carnaby Street.
No, the other street, the
King's Road.
No.
Oh, Savile Road.
Savile Road.
No.
It wasn't. It was.
No, it would have been little tailors in back streets.
Right.
Where you'd go and you'd go to the movies and you'd see a French film, and I've heard stories of people sketching, you know, what they wanted, take it to the tailor, say, well, this is what I want, and giving them, you know, a couple of bob a week, and getting made in, and they want 2 vents in there and 3 buttons and then all of a sudden they'd get it, but their mate's now got, you know, a 4-inch vent, and he's got 4 buttons, so you think, well, and a velvet collar, so the next suit, you know, they're gradually moving it on.
Right.
And then the boutiques like John Stevens and Lord John, they suddenly
come up to supply these people.
Yeah, they saw a market.
Where was it started, the mod?
Well, I mean, very good question. I'm going to get shot by people
Because I haven't got a clue, if I'm honest with you.
You talk about...
I think of it,
London.
and I think of it. I think Carnaby Street. I think around Soho, around that area. This is where this culture has grown out from.
Yeah.
It might start in Manchester. I ain't got.
No, well, I mean, it was London as far as I know, and it was late 50s, early 60s. John Stevens had a shop in Newburgh Street. Vince, he worked there, and then he opened his own shop. So you could say that John Stevens was one of the first. Lord John came on later on. But there was Mod Mail. There was all these little boutiques that were catering. But you got to remember, the fashion moves so quickly. Look at what the Beatles were wearing in 1960 to 1969. It moves so quickly.
My uncle was a teddy boy.
Yeah.
And he always had the teddy boy barnet, even up till he died, right?
Yeah.
If I think back, I can't think back because I weren't alive, but I can imagine, were the suits and everything so different?
Yeah, I mean... If you look at the business guys, any pictures of people going to work in the 60s, they all look the same. Bowler hats,
right?
Grey, black, that was it.
Yeah.
These guys were having tonic suits made. So tonic was Dorme, and it was this new fabric. It's really shiny. Yeah. Pink shirts.
Right.
You know, never heard of pink shirts.
Right.
And they were just taking it to another level.
Okay.
And I think that was what mod was all about.
Modern.
Yeah, modern, and not looking like your dad, you know.
Okay.
Looking smart, looking like you were $1 million. You
right,
probably...
So there's the mod movement that everyone looks smart, but also I would have thought that the mod movement of looking smart was against the scruffy look.
Yes.
But your dad and everything will suits the work anyway.
Yeah.
So like it was a step on from what your dad was doing, and he'd be looking at it and he wouldn't be saying, what's the apple with that pink shirt you're wearing?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, well, you know,
I'm
cool. I'm young.
Funnily enough, in Japan in the 60s, they had this movement, you know, the Ivy League, you know, the American Ivy colleges.
Yes.
And they had this look, and they were very clean Ivy League look. And they used to hang around street corners dressed like Ivy, incredible. And the police moved them on. They thought, what's going on here? We don't understand this.
So that Ivy League look, that is also a mod look as well, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
So what's the story with that then? Now?
Well, I mean, it lends
blended?
itself. Yeah, it just lends itself. I mean, I've got my Madras check jacket on today. It's very Ivy League. The Harrington is very Ivy League. A polo shirt. You know, they're very similarities.
Right.
So if you were to watch like Steve McQueen or Ryan O'Neill in Peyton Place, the mods would be looking at these people and going, "Oh yeah, I like his look." You
so
know,
was it their young person's idea to recreate their Americana?
Yeah.
In that particular way at that particular time.
I think if you look at all brands, I mean, Fred Perry was a tennis shirt.
Yeah.
He had no idea that it was going to turn into mods and skinheads.
No, not at all.
And again, Gabbici, they designed it as the guys playing golf and going out, you know, with their wives wearing lovely Italian knitwear.
Yeah.
But of course, the football casuals got hold of it.
Yeah.
And, you know, the rude boys got hold of it and whoever. And these brands suddenly turn into something that's completely different. Like the Harrington was a golf jacket. And then all of a sudden the mods got hold of it and the Ivy League got hold of it. So it then turns into something completely different.
I got these two Gabbici golf jackets, right? And everyone, they're like, I didn't even know Gabbici would have made this because it's so away from what Gabbici looks like.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, actually, funny you should say that. I've been trying to get them to recreate that. So that's probably 80s.
Yeah, it must be early 80s.
It's like a blues on, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. It's exactly
almost
what it is.
Looks like a skiing jacket or
it's like,
golfing.
It's like a very lightweight. It's like almost like a nylon tracksuit top,
like the old shell suit.
like a shelt, but made out of I don't know what material it would be made. It would be cotton, nylon, polyester.
Yeah.
But it will be. It's like a track top, but it's a jacket.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing.
Well, if you look at Gabbici, they started off doing the Italian knitwear, and of course they moved with the times. So get to the 80s, they start doing this sort of tracksuit tops.
So tell us a little bit about the backstory of Gabbici.
Well, it was started by two guys from London, Jack Sophia, Alex Pizer. They used to go on holiday to a resort in Italy near Rimini called Gabbici Mare, spelt differently, but yeah. And if you think of like the talented Mr. Ripley, they're on holiday seeing all these Italians wearing this amazing knitwear.
Yeah.
Suddenly, light bulb moment, think, I know what we can do. We can bring that back to the UK. So they manufacture it actually in Italy, near to where Gabbici Mare is.
Right.
And they brought all this lovely... I was watching Goodfellas the other day.
Yeah.
If you look at Goodfellas, Godfather, all of that, they're all wearing this lovely knitwear.
Yep.
And that's what they brought back. And then it got bigger and bigger. My dad tells me the story of...
When was this?
1973.
73, okay, right.
So my dad said that Jack Sophia would come to the shop in his car, and in the back of the boot, there'd be all these samples.
Yeah.
That's how he started.
Right.
And he said a year later, they went to a trade show, and his Rolls Royce was outside with JS1.
Fucking
that was
hell.
in a year.
That quick.
How quickly it just went mental.
That's mad, isn't it?
It is.
That's absolutely mental.
Yeah.
So it's an English brand.
English brand. Everyone thinks it's Italian, but it was English brand.
So you know that Gabbici Mare, is that where they're doing the modcast?
Yeah, modcast. I went there last year.
Yeah, good fun.
With Eddie. Oh, it's brilliant. It was absolutely... I loved it. It was a proper old-fashioned Italian resort.
Right.
Beautiful beach with all these parasols.
Yeah, bet the grub's lovely, isn't it?
It was lovely. And it wasn't expensive at all.
No?
You know, you think it is.
Yeah.
And what Eddie had was... It was funny. So I went on holiday, and in the evening, you had a mod disco. So I was in my element, you know.
Right, yeah.
Well, actually, all day. They had yoga in the morning.
Right.
Then they had an all-dayer. Then they had an evening disco. Then they had a scooter rally. Then they had a boat trip. So they had all these things going on. And you walk around the corner and go, oh, hello, mate. You know, see loads of people.
Yeah, you see loads of people you know.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
Are you going there this year?
Possibly. My wife can't make it, but I'm toying with the idea of just going.
It's all right, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm going to know loads of people when I get there.
Are you, as Gabbici, having anything to do with it at all?
We did last time. We did an exclusive. So we did a Gabbici top archive piece in pale blue and navy. I think she's still got some left. But yeah, we did but it's called Gabbici, so we got to do something.
What's good about Gabbici is also that they're open to doing things like this, aren't they?
Yep. Yeah.
You know, they're not a closed book.
No,
they're
not at all.
You know,
I mean, obviously we get approached all the time, and we have to say no to some things.
Yeah.
But, you know, something like that was a no-brainer.
Of course.
And Kamala from Gabbici, she was there as well. So
Yeah.
I went with her, and it was fantastic. I think it's the first time she'd worked for the company for 40 years, never been to Gabbici.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was so easy to get to. We flew into Bologna and got the train straight there. And they're trying to encourage people back, because it used to be a massive resort for the English.
Okay.
Where now everyone's gone to Spain or wherever. But they're trying to encourage people back.
I've never been to Italy, but I would like to go there.
Yeah.
I'd love to go there.
Yeah.
Maybe
well,
on something.
Why don't you go in September?
Maybe I will. What date?
Why don't me and you go?
What date is it?
It's, I think, the 9th, 10th of September.
Can't. I'm in Benidorm. 10th of September. My £2 pints is what I'm going for. £2 pints and £2 breakfasts.
Well, why not?
Well, you're only young once, aren't you?
Yeah, of course you are. Yeah. Why not? Go for it.
Yeah, so what's the next thing? What's your next move then, Simon?
Good question. So I'm an agent now. I'm working for Tootle Scarves, Viella.
Tell us a little bit about Tootle.
So Tootle's the original...
That's the one you
the
tell
silk,
us about.
yeah, the silk scarf.
Silk scarf.
It originally was made from rayon.
Okay.
Which is a peach skin feel fabric.
Yeah.
And they've started to do that again. They've still got the silk, but they've got the rayon now. So I'm selling that. I'm selling Viella, which is part of the same company.
Yep.
Got some
Are
nice
they
shirts. No, they're shirts. So they were formal shirts, but they've done like the Revere collared shirts. So I'm doing that. So have the showroom in London. Hopefully, I'm just going to carry on as an agent as I get older.
What about them really cool that jacket brand?
Yeah, so I've got the London Coat Company.
That's really cool,
made in England. So
that's lovely. That is.
They make for Gloverall. You know, they've done Private White. So they're all made in London. The fabrics are all made in London. That's really picking up.
Is that going well?
Yeah, they've done a beautiful Harris tweed overcoat for autumn winter coming in pretty soon.
Do you find that most of the boutiques and everything you go to, are they reluctant to buy into new brands?
Yeah, I think it's always once one person's bought it, and they say they're doing well with it. All of a sudden,
I've got that. It must be all right. I'll have a go at that.
Oh, you know that? I saw it in someone's shop. He's doing well with it. Can I have a piece? Yeah. I mean, I can understand it. It's like you've got a shop. And it's a new brand. Are you going to spend a load of money on it? You don't know whether it's going to sell or not.
Well, the trouble is that you've got to give a brand a chance. You've got to buy a fair bit of the collection, haven't you?
Yes.
And when you haven't got much space,
Yes.
you're right in trouble, aren't you? Because
Yeah.
we've got like 3 or 4 brands that I've only got on the website.
Yeah.
I haven't even got them in the shop because I've got nowhere to display.
Yeah.
We're in a tight shop here, you know.
Yeah.
Once we open a new one, we can have different stuff in there.
Yeah.
And you
Can we talk about that?
Of course we can. Yeah, 100%.
Kingston.
Yeah.
And that's September, isn't it?
Hopefully we're open at kind of the end of September,
Oh,
middle to the end of September.
Brilliant. I'm looking
Well, I
forward
think
to it.
that's a different animal, isn't it? You're in an actual town centre then.
Yes.
Whereas, like, you know, where we are here, we get like 2 hours a day of trade.
Well, it's funny. I come in the morning and everyone's setting up.
Yeah.
And lunchtime, it is absolutely mental.
Have you ever seen anything as busy? It's almost like Oxford Street, isn't it?
Crazy. And if you look at the food stalls, I've never seen so many food stalls, and all doing fresh food, lovely fresh food. And as I walked here today, I had my suitcase. I could hardly get through.
Well, you couldn't get through.
No.
See that is. I mean, that's a good thing and a bad thing because we do the coffee.
Yes.
We had to do
very
the coffee.
good coffee, by the way.
Thank you very much. Award winning.
Award winning.
Yeah,
well,
this roastery, they're award winning coffee. But if we didn't do the coffee, we'd be in trouble, wouldn't we?
Yes.
Because you've only got 2 hour days of trade.
Yes.
You haven't got Monday. You haven't got Friday. People don't go to the office Monday and Friday.
Yeah.
Ghost town on Saturday.
Yeah.
So you have to do things to bring people in
absolutely.
on a Saturday.
And you've changed your business and you've had to.
Well,
so social media, online, coffee.
See, the thing is, if you don't have all of them at once, you may be in trouble.
Yes.
Because they all work in as an ecosystem, yeah?
Like
and
when we launched Gabbici with you guys,
Yeah.
you got Magic Mod down and we did a little launch.
You kind of have to try and do it. So from that launch of that and him putting it on his socials, other people, like I've got other friends who have got quite big audiences. They like what you've done. They just like it, share it. You sell 50 pieces off the bat.
Yeah. No,
if you don't do them things, no one knows about it, and they've got to discover it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You have to do things like that.
Yeah.
And maybe we're all going to get into the position where we're all doing that, and it might be a bit congested.
Possibly.
But it is what it is.
And then we'll move on to something else.
Then you have to move on to something else.
Yeah,
totally.
when it is totally saturated, then you think, okay, we'll go in another direction.
Well, you know, that like the real big ones, you know, your JD and your sports director of Flannels and USC and all that wrapped into one. They're not doing anything on that. They're not doing anything like that. They're not giving the customer that kind of experience.
No.
So they don't need to because they're so big themselves anyway. They can be in every town in the whole country.
Yeah.
But where we have to do something a little bit different to encourage people in, we have got instead of moaning about and saying, "Oh, look, how far behind we've got, we can't catch up." No, we're in front because we're doing the things to get to people that they are not going to see.
Yeah, and it's like doing this podcast. You know, we're sitting, we've been here, I don't know how long, but we're just rambling on.
Yeah,
but it's good. We're talking about the brands and the history of the brands and where it's all come from, and people hopefully will be interested.
Well, if someone's most of the time they're not going to be interested in what I'm saying, are they? what do they want to know about what I'm saying for? But they do want to hear about who I bring on.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So it's nothing in terms of that being part of the shop's idea or how we're going to go forward. We're always going to have new people coming in and talking about their journey, and that makes it a little bit easier, doesn't it? Because you know it's double expensive to advertise.
And also, I think people they like a podcast. They put it on their headphones when they're on the train or wherever, and they can listen. You know, and it's interesting. I mean, I've seen a few of your podcasts, and I've learned a few things.
Well, I mean, we've got some really good hosts hosting it now, and we want to get to at least like 10. Different hosts from all different aspects of life, you know, all different, you know, we might have a boxer, we might have a footballer, we obviously got influencers and we've got Jack off Love Island and we've got other people doing it and obviously the Magic Mod who's the one who started it.
And it's something that you've created yourself.
Yes.
I mean, where before you'd have Channel 4 or BBC or you know, all these people, where now people are doing it themselves. It's almost like pirate radio, isn't it? How pirate radio started. You just get a couple of microphones and then a camera.
Hopefully people are liking what you're playing,
Exactly.
We're doing the same thing, but hopefully people are liking what we're listening, what they're listening to. But the difference being is that where pirate radio was, you know, it's pirate.
Yeah.
We're public.
Yeah.
You know,
you're allowed.
We're allowed.
We haven't got to run away in a minute.
No, exactly that. So, you know, we can only try.
No,
keep going.
I think you're doing a great job.
Push on.
Yeah. Well, we're still here. You know, you're here as an independent. You're opening another store. I've opened, I think this season, 3 or 4 new accounts, which really is unheard of.
Well, I mean, that's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah,
because what we want to do is I'd sooner all our customers, if they weren't buying from us, would go to buy from another independent.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see the independents as competition.
No.
I'd like to get them on.
Yeah.
We'll talk about what they're doing.
Because there's fewer and fewer independent menswear independents. I mean, like I say, 250 accounts.
How many independents did there used to be in London?
Oh, loads. If
Where
you
they all
think
gone?
about it. Yeah, I know. I mean, if you look at how many accounts I've got, I mean, I should have loads, but they're just, I mean, obviously the rent and rates.
Well, that's the problem,
crazy.
isn't it? You can't pay rent and rates in London.
No, look at the King's Road.
Impossible.
The King's Road used to be full of
Yeah.
independents, and now
Well, you look at Oxford Street.
Yeah.
How many independents were you had when you had MASH on Oxford Street? They were the times where it was really having it. You go into Covent Garden, there was a few in Covent Garden.
Yeah.
Everywhere, Carnaby Street, there was loads. You know,
we look at Chiltern Street though, which is just off Oxford Street near Baker Street.
Yeah.
There's so many really cool independents. You've got John Simon, Labour and Weight, Bryceland, Grey Flannel, Dashing Tweeds. There's all these lovely little...
That is where people should go and check out.
Honestly,
it's you're going to come to London and go and check out. You want a street of
There's
independence.
coffee shops, there's bookshops.
That is a good street.
It's a lovely little street.
We looked at
obviously you come to Leather Lane, come see you.
Yeah, come to the market, come and have a bit of grub,
and then buy some jewellery down in Hatton Garden.
Well, we do on Saturday. That's where our customer comes from. Right. It's the people on... Look, Monday to Friday you get offices. You do get people from Hatton Garden around, but really your month is your office trade. On Saturday and Sunday, well, we don't open Sunday, but on Saturdays, it's all people looking for engagement rings, wedding rings. They first coffee. Where's the nearest coffee shop? Bang, they're in here.
Okay.
Once they're in here, and then you're chatting to them, you're giving them a better experience, aren't you?
Totally.
You know.
Yeah.
And then I ring up. They're like, "Oh yeah, have you already got the ring sorted?" No. Well. Yeah, I'll ring up someone, go and speak to him, pick a ring out somewhere, go and speak to them. If you help everyone out, you've got half a chance of doing all right, haven't you?
No,
because they're sending people around to us.
No, exactly. And that's the thing. I think years ago it used to be competition, whereas now I think independents, all of my independents tend to know everybody.
Yeah.
You know, how are you getting on today? Oh, well, I haven't had a very good day, or I've had a good day, or this is working well, or this isn't working well. They're all talking to each other. You should
really help each other out,
Yeah.
Because we're not in competition with each other.
No.
You're in competition. If you think that, I used to supply loads of eBayers.
Yeah.
And they'd say to me, no, you're supplying, you sell whatever. And I'm like, what, do you think he's the one who's making you not take the money?
Yeah.
You're in competition with the world.
Yeah.
Everyone's online.
Yeah.
Every single person's everywhere. You're not in competition. Help each other out. It's just easier.
Yeah. And I think what we find is with blokes, they like their local pub, right? And they like their local shop. We assume that they're all shopping around everywhere, but they're not really.
They're not.
They like going into the shop. They like seeing you.
Right. This is the whole reason why I was telling someone this morning, he's like, "Oh, why coffee?" I'm like, "Listen, mate. How many different barbers do you go to?" He's like, "No, I've had the same barber for 15 years. Yeah. All right. So I said to him, "Well, so what do you do? Once every couple of weeks, 3 weeks?" Yeah. I go and get a cut every couple of weeks. I'm like, right. But you go back to the same barber, don't you? I said, this is these people's. This is their morning routine.
Yeah.
They don't want to go chasing what the best.
No.
They come in here because they like it.
Yep.
And they get their coffee with me.
Yeah,
every single day,
and they can try stuff on,
and while they're waiting, they'll try something on.
Exactly.
Or even if it's a bird who comes in, she's like, "Oh, for my brother or my husband or someone's birthday."
Yeah.
And if they don't like it, can I bring it? Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
You know, it's if you give them that experience on a daily basis. The difference is, I got 200-300 customers coming in a week doing the same thing who are regulars.
Yeah.
That's how hard is it to get 200 or 300 regulars into a clothes shop a week?
I mean, I went to a multiple. I won't say who it is, but I walked upstairs to the men's section. And there was no staff there whatsoever.
No.
Right. And then when I did eventually want to buy something, I had to self-scan it.
Yeah.
Right. I thought to myself, I'm going to have a go on the fitting rooms and get the broom out in a minute and sweep up.
I mean,
because there was one guy on the till point downstairs who was trying to sell a store card.
Yeah.
So there's a massive queue.
Yeah.
I thought when I was at Next, we must have had at least 30 people in the store, all serving.
So do you think you look at that model and you think, right, everyone's turning into a Sainsbury's and a Marks and Spencer. You can scan everything and what's it.
Yeah.
People don't want that.
No.
Do they really want that? When I go and buy anything, they don't ask. First of all, you don't get a bag no more.
Yeah.
And they don't pack the bag for you. You have to pack it yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and then after you don't do that, after the time you're scanning it yourself in the machine.
Yeah.
So that, is that any service? That's not service,
no, it's not service at all.
Oh, no.
Like I say, we had a rota, right? You're on the fitting room. You're on front of house. So front of house, you welcome people in.
Yeah.
You're on menswear, you're on ladies wear, and then you change round. So you had someone on fitting room. taking the clothes, put them in the fitting room, and then when they came out, oh, you look lovely, or do you want another size?
Yeah.
You know, it was all about service, where I don't know whether, you know, in the big boys, you certainly don't get that.
Well, you're looking at the way they're running, especially the massive stores like in Oxford Street. Amount of thievery must be happening.
Yeah. Oh,
you
God,
got,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing it?
Yeah,
Doesn't even make any
exactly.
sense.
I know,
What, to pay someone their wages to just go and help? Like,
yeah.
Doesn't even make how much you must be losing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that isn't just going to be in Oxford Street, is it?
No.
That's going to be all over the country.
No, and what I find whenever I visit my accounts, it's almost like a social club. I mean, I'll be sitting in there and some guys will be talking, and we'll be talking about music and scooters and clothes. And, you know, you have like three places. You have work, you have home, and it used to be the pub, where sometimes now it's either football or it is a shop. You know, you can go there and see like-minded people. And talk.
Every day you've got someone coming in here and telling me a little bit about their day, their morning's going to be, or whatever. And I see you at lunch. Some, you know, don't forget, people don't come for coffee once, do they? They might come 3 times a day. To get coffee. Yeah. So I know what they're doing. I know their business. I know they're
You're
getting
a counsellor.
You know, exactly that. Sometimes you are. Sometimes you chat. But if you can give someone that experience,
yes,
in a different, so the model that we've got here. So if we can recreate that in the next door, and then we can recreate that somewhere else, then these are hubs, aren't they?
Yeah, no, totally.
These are hubs for people to go to, because that's now their routine.
Yeah, no.
Why do they want to go and give money to Mike Ashley when they can give it to us?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You know, because we're giving them the service. Yeah,
and you care about it as well.
Well, at the end of the day, if you're speaking to someone 5 days a week, they're your friend at the end of the day, aren't you?
Yeah, no, totally.
You know, and that's probably where the retail side of things was 25 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my dad knew everyone. All right, Fred?
Exactly.
Have you got any of those Farrah slacks?
There you go.
You know, and he knew everybody. He knew everyone's size.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, it's like they were his mates.
Well, I mean, listen, all the market traders here, well, we give them all free coffee.
Yeah.
And they give us free grub. So the staff got free grub all day.
Yeah,
right?
brilliant.
So you can have whatever they want, yeah? That they ain't got to pay for stuff.
Yeah.
We just supply it with coffee.
Yeah.
And then all the market traders, they're like, I need a t-shirt, I'll go and see John.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you are in that way inclined that okay, this one particular store is never gonna make you enough to get fat and put your feet up and that's it, you're done.
Yeah.
But a few of them may.
Yeah.
And as long as you're giving the customer that experience,
Yeah.
they're certainly going to spend their money with you rather than spending it with someone else.
Yeah, I mean, it's like my showroom. I was in the showroom and I thought, you know, I'm here for so many weeks. And I knew the untalented Mr. I can't remember what his name is.
The
little guy on the
scooter. Yeah,
and I'd seen him about, he goes to Pie Mash shops and he goes to, you know, Bar Italian, does a little video.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, look, why don't you come to my showroom, do a little video?
Yeah.
And he popped in. He was brilliant. He did this little tiny video.
People are there to help if you ask.
And it didn't cost me anything and he had a good time. And then another one of my friends, he said, can I bring my scooter as well? So he came and, you know, sat outside on his scooter. And all of a sudden, you know, you're sharing content and...
Well, it's all about sharing what you're doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, you know, people, look, you've given us your time, yeah? You've got your own page and it's Simon the Suits.
It's Heritage Brands Inc. for my work one. And then it's Simon C. Parr 6363. But TikTok is Simon
the Suits TikTok, isn't it?
I can't believe I'm doing all these. This is my daughter, really.
Well,
at my age, I'm Mr. Social Media.
Yeah, but that's what.
But I think
that's
you have
what
to.
It's about, isn't it? At the end of the day, listen. I'm not much. I don't really like the fact that you're going to be like when you start doing that TikTok and you're standing there and you're ain't for me. It's just not. I'd rather have a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
And some people, they're really good at doing that.
Yeah,
you know? I don't mind doing the pitch.
Yeah.
So I just don't want to stand there on camera doing it. You know what I mean? That's
exactly.
not really for me.
But I'm doing little short videos. My daughter says, it's all about little short videos about whatever you're doing. And,
well, they're cool. When you're going into the shops and you're like Simon the Suit going into the shop, you're like, it's really cool.
Well, I thought, I'm going there anyway. Why don't I just do a silly little video? And if I'm talking to the guy, why don't I film myself talking to the guy about, you know, trade like Stewart's, they've been there, well, next year, 1967. So
is it their centenary year?
Yeah, I don't know if it's, I don't know how many years, 50 years I think it is, 50 years they've been there. And they're going to have a big party. And Sherry's in Carnaby Street, you know, they've been here.
They've moved around quite fair.
Yeah, I mean, they're now in Soho, but all these little independent stores, you know, they've got a story to tell.
So just after we left with you the other day, Ravi and Ben were
Oh,
walking
yes,
up.
yes.
I tried to grab him. I said, come on, try. Can you come on the podcast?
Yeah.
They haven't come on it, but I would like to get them on, though.
No, I think they will do because they've got something to talk about. Obviously, next year's the big year.
And I'd like to find the backstory of Ravi of what, because he doesn't just have stewards, does he? He's like, is it Dandy Fellow?
Yeah, Dandy Fellow.
And I'd like to hear the backstory of that.
Yeah.
What I'd really like to know about is C17. I'd like to know what the story is with that, because that was one of my favourite brands. That's where my was Chevignon, Chippy, C17.
Yeah.
That was the era, early 90s.
Yeah.
That was, and I'd love some of them.
all these brands that are laying dormant, that somebody either owns them or is not doing anything with them.
Well, Chippy and Chevignon are still going, aren't they? But they're women's wear. They're not interested in doing menswear.
Okay,
I don't think. And Chevignon have launched again, haven't they? I don't know whether they ever went from France, but they tried to launch in England about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we bought loads of it. We sold out of every single bit. But I think we was the right targeting the right audience for it.
Yeah.
And I don't think everyone else done very well with it.
No.
And Chevignon didn't want to put any budget behind marketing at all with it.
Yeah.
But if they come back now, Chevignon, to the UK, I think it would be a different story, because I think
totally.
the timing's right now for it.
Yeah. I think there's a massive 90s revival coming,
I can
building
see it.
through.
But are you thinking, where we just talked about the smart look, because the early 90s revival, a lot of that was baggy jeans and...
Yeah, it was to a certain degree. I mean, if you think about what Oasis were wearing, they were wearing a button-down shirt but worn over the top of jeans.
They were kind of mid-90s, isn't it? But when you think about the Chevignon and Chippy era, they were
biggie.
The Happy Mondays, baggy jeans, loose fit, everything was loose fit. That was... That hasn't... all right, it's been done where everyone's wearing the loose fit gear, but not in the same way.
No.
Not in the same way with the brands.
Yeah.
So Chevignon, Chippy, Naf, Best Company. Remember Best Company? They were like them Pananero brands, weren't they?
Yeah.
Where the Italian kids were doing their own take on Americana, much the same way as the mod work.
Yeah.
It was that was their take on it.
Yeah.
And that's why. And when that came here, it was 15, 20 years later.
Yeah.
But that had its time. So I think that is one that's going to have its next time.
And also Duffer St George.
Yeah.
I mean, they've relaunched. Haven't
they?
They've come back and I think obviously it was in Debenhams. And then it's come back.
So if a lot of the brands shoot themselves in the foot, don't they?
Yeah.
Because they're all in on the big money. Debenhams must have had big money with it.
Yeah.
They buy them out, did they?
Yeah.
And they had it. That was one of their brands.
Yeah.
Now the problem with that is it's in Debenhams.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a cool store, is it?
It just kills it.
You're sitting there next to
but now they're bringing it back, and it's going to be in all the independents. So
well, weren't Duffer weren't they an independent store, or they were a market trade?
So
it
was four guys who started it and started off in a market stall, and then eventually they got shops and they were buying vintage clothing and getting brands.
Because originally it was really cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, really cool. And then everyone was getting into it, and they become massive, and then for whatever reason, I suppose they came too big, sold it, and
you probably got a lot of money out of it, didn't
yeah,
you?
Yeah,
and whatever they sold it for just went. It went.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That's what happens, though, isn't it?
I know. But independence for you.
Well, thank you very much for coming in,
Simon.
Thank you.
Much
appreciated. Hopefully next time we can do it again.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Maybe next season or something when you're back in town.
Yeah, I'll be back in January, so it'll be autumn, winter 27.
Lovely. And tell us what you've been doing in the next 6 months then.
I will. Thank you very much. Cheers,
Much
man.
appreciated, mate.
Thank you.